Dun, 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 dun. I'm still not over it. I'm still not over it. I stumbled upon it. It's almost like they're secretly hiding it. It's all happening. I'm not gonna have a Sheena Shea moment. Get it right, girl. I'm sure everybody on here is like, we know what this is about. You're the one who doesn't know. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse and welcome to part 2 of a book haul. So if you saw the book haul I did in July, I said that I was gonna do part 2 to talk about this group of books right here. And I filmed it that same day. I'll put a little footage in here. So when I went to go edit it, I realized how hot messy it actually was. Not me, couldn't care less. But what I was doing in that video was balancing a tripod on a chair because it wasn't tall enough and it was crooked, and there's a light over here which I had turned on, which is bright as all get out and very difficult to watch that video, and I could not bear to watch it. So since I have filmed that video, I got a new tripod, which I have been wish listing for a long time, but finally got one that is taller than I am, and that makes all the difference in the world. And what I did learn from filming that video is it's nice to film a video standing up every once in a while, because sitting in a chair, one's legs might start to cramp up. So consider this take 2. And the upside is also, I have been sent 3 incredible books since I filmed that video. And one of them, which I'm gonna save till towards the end of this video, just came today. I didn't know it was coming. I wished it was coming. Screamed. Do you ever have one of those moments where you're just like, I need the universe to send me a sign that maybe this shit is gonna turn around? The universe just threw me the biggest sign and I'm so excited about it. And all right, we're gonna get into it. So, book haul that I did, combination of Thriller Fest books, pre-orders, gifted books from publishers. These are more books that I've purchased, pre-orders, and some Thriller Fest books, by which I mean I bought them at Thriller Fest. So let's get into it. I'm also not going to talk when my back is to you because I learned the other time that that does not work. Okay, first book I want to talk about is Neverworld Wake. This is by Marisha Pessl. I got this at Thriller Fest. I failed miserably at planning my time correctly and did not make it to her author signing, but I have had this book on my wish list for a while. So I read Night Film years ago. Chunker of a book, mixed media, blew my mind, loved it. And then failed to pick up anything else that she wrote. But I had read somewhere that, like, if you liked In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, you will really enjoy this book. So this is about a group of friends who, after their first year of college, it is 5 friends, only one can survive. Beatrice Hartley and her friends are reuniting a year after graduation, but their weekend getaway takes a dark turn. After narrowly avoiding a car crash during the night out, they find themselves back at Wincroft, the mansion where they're staying. There's a terrible storm and then a stranger appears. Don't want to know anything else. I am very excited for that one. And then I have How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie. So this is a book that I came across when I was shopping on Blackwell's, and I was like, I have not heard of this book. This looks amazing. Why isn't everybody screaming about this book? Because it sounds very made for me. And then I walked into Barnes & Noble the next week and I saw it on a table. So I think it's like a TikTok sensation table it was on. I am not on TikTok. I obviously am not hip to the sensations. So the back of this is, they say you can't choose your family, but you can kill them. Meet Grace Bernard, daughter-sister serial killer. Grace has lost everything and she will stop at nothing to get revenge. One of the reviews on the back from The Observer says, an anti-hero able to best villainous male protagonists, such as Patrick Bateman, any day. So it's supposed to be very dark humor, very dark. The Sunday Telegraph calls it a corker of a debut. So she has another book that's out as well, but I'm gonna try and not do the thing where I buy multiple books without reading the first one first, and I'm very excited. So give me a dark book all the live long day. Okay, I don't know when I got all of these books. It's totally fine. All right, we have This Is Not a Game by Kelly Mullen. I think this is cozy adjacent, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't read it yet. I've read one of these books. It's fine. 2 Unlikely Detectives, A Killer Cocktail of Suspects. I talked about this in my new release video, May, June? I think this one came out. So we have Murder Martinis, a grandmother-granddaughter sleuthing duo, Dachshunds Time 2, and a glamorous island manor. If you guys saw the first video, and I don't even know if I'm saying the dog name right, or the dog breed right, I probably not. But there we go. I stumbled over that the first time around. So we have Widow Mimi lives on idyllic Mackinac Island, where cars are not allowed and a Gibson martini with 3 onions at the witching hour is compulsory. So Addie is her estranged granddaughter. She's getting over the heartbreak of not only being dumped by her fiancé Brian, but also being cut out of the deal for the brilliantly successful video game Murderscape they invented together. Because Brian is a big fat jerk. Okay, so Mimi gets an invitation from a local socialite, a 70-something narcissist who's having a salacious affair with her son-in-law. So her and Addie go to this charity auction. I just love the drama. And once they arrive, a big storm rolls in. We love weather. They all get trapped in the mansion. We love an isolated vibe. And then Jane, the 70-something socialite who is having an affair with her son-in-law, is found dead. So Mimi and Addie start to work together to figure out what happened. I'm in like a cozy, I don't know if I'm in my cozy era per se, but I do feel like deliberately choosing books that are not as dark and messed up as I normally read because I'm trying to write something that's dark and messed up and I don't want it bleeding into my head. I have leaned more cozy, more contemporary, more romance lately, and I'm having a very nice time of it. So I'm excited for this. And then dark and messed up, Geneva Rose. Good friend Geneva Rose. This is The Perfect Divorce. So this is the sequel to The Perfect Marriage. This says Till Death Do Us Part, Yours Not Mine. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition. So it has, if you saw the first video, I'm all about these edges. Put it on a book, as long as it's not fantasy, which I'm not like talking crap about fantasy. I just don't like fantasy. But like put this on all the thrillers and I will buy them all. So special edition, gorgeous inside cover. And I don't want to tell you too much because if you haven't read The Perfect Marriage yet, the description on this book will ruin stuff. So basically, it's been 11 years since book number 1. And I really feel like that's the only thing that you can know because I think everything in here is just going to give stuff away. So we've got page-turning suspense, Geneva Rose's signature twists and turns, and that's all I'm going to say. And now as I stand here looking at this, maybe this would be a good slump buster. I kind of feel like this might be a good one. This woman has written so many books. She's incredible. Okay. Then I have Once More from the Top. I don't know why I'm picking... Why am I holding 2 books at a time when they're hardcovers? Once More from the Top. This is by Emily Layden. So my Barnes & Noble has brought back this, like the 40% off shelf. I feel like that thing has not been around in ages. So every time I go, it's like all the way in the back. I stumbled upon it. It's almost like they're secretly hiding it, which like if you're trying to get rid of the books, put it somewhere like up front. Anyway, it is located back by reference and writing. And I always take a gander to see if there's like a new craft book. That's what I need. But anyway, stumbled upon this, very excited about it. I had not heard of this one before. And we have a propulsive layered novel about the meteoric rise of a legendary pop star and the secrets she's kept hidden for 15 years. Everyone in America knows Dylan Reed, or at least has heard her music. Since releasing her debut album her senior year of high school, she spent 15 years growing up in the public eye. She's not only perfected her skills when it comes to lyrics and melody, she's also learned how to craft a public narrative that satisfies her fans, her label, and the media. A lot of people think they understand everything about Dylan, but what nobody knows, and this is what got me, is part of her origin story she has successfully kept hidden. Her childhood best friend Kelsey vanished the year before Dylan became famous. And now that Dylan is at the height of her career, Kelsey's body is found at the bottom of their hometown lake. That's the point where I was just like, I'm going to buy this book. So we have Dylan is forced to reckon with their shared past, her friends' influence on her music, and whether there's more to their story than meets the eye. Like so many books come out, which I know, and you can only possibly like put so many like can cross your path or be on your radar, but I'm really wondering how I missed this one because we've got Jessica Anya Blau on the back, who wrote Mary Jane, which I loved. Katie Bishop, who wrote Girls of Summer, who I just talked about. Her new book is coming out. And Rachel Kopecki Dale, who wrote The Ballerinas, who I haven't read yet. But like, there's so many authors. Ellie Eaton, who wrote The Divines. Ruthie Thorpe, who wrote Margot's Got Money Troubles. Like, how did I miss this? I feel like, I mean, it doesn't matter because I have it now. But anyway, I'm excited for that. Okay. And then, dun, 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 everybody knew this was coming. If you're wondering why I haven't read it yet, you and me both. With a Vengeance, Riley Sager. Cover is bomb. He really gets some great covers. I feel like this, I'm like, is this his best cover? It's really good. The Only One Left was really good too. I got the UK cover of The House Across the Lake, which I really like. You guys know, I live for a Riley Sager book. And I am so obsessed with him. Even the back is gorgeous. So this is also the Barnes and Noble special edition, which I think just means, no, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. I'm like, did I buy the special edition? Wow. It's not. I'm mixing it up with a different book. So we have One Train, No Stops, A Deadly Game of Survival and Revenge. Super new for Riley. We are in 1942. 6 people destroyed Anna Matheson's family, and then 12 years later, she's ready for retribution. So very Murder on the Orient Express vibe to this one. And we have strangers on a train. Under false pretenses, Anna has lured those responsible for her family's downfall onto a luxury train from Philly to Chicago for a 13-hour overnight journey. Her goal is to confront everyone who has wronged her and to get them to confess their crimes. But we all know where this is going. Anna's plan is quickly derailed, no pun intended, by the murder of one of the passengers. And as the train barrels through the night, it becomes clear that someone else on board is enacting their own form of revenge, and they won't stop until everyone else is dead. So, you know, we're going to fight to survive and figure out who done it and why. And, you know, locked room thriller. What dreams are made of, if you're me. And I love me a Riley Sager. So, his newest. There's a lot of new books on here. This is the beauty of it. Okay, and then I have It Should Have Been You by Andrea Mara. Don't remember where I saw this that I was like, ooh, I need to get it. I got this from Blackwell, so this is like the oversized UK paperback, which I'm super excited about. And it's actually signed, which I didn't realize when I bought it, which is just, I don't know, fun. So it says, they came for you, but they got the wrong house. So there is a new Claire Douglas book coming out in August, which if you saw my August video, you're like, we know. But that is also, or that's about 2 sisters. And it seems like it's called The Wrong Sister and somebody got the wrong sister. So similarly, but perhaps different, we have Look What You Started. You text your sister. It's another sister story. You text your sister. Your message is full of gossip about your neighbor, but you accidentally send it to the entire local community's WhatsApp group instead. Yikes. Now everyone knows. As rumors spread like wildfire through the picture-perfect neighborhood, you convince yourself that people will move on, that this quickly will be forgotten. But then you receive the first death threat. And somebody wants you dead. The next day, a woman has been found murdered, and what's even more chilling is that she has the same address as you, 26 Oak Park, but in a different part of town. Did the killer get the wrong house? It won't be long before you find out. That's really disturbing. That's really disturbing. Does anybody remember that Murder, She Wrote episode where it was like 2 addresses that were like similar but different in 2 different parts of town that helped with an alibi? Nope, just me. Okay, here's a book that I actually read. This is Trust Issues. This is by Greg Wands and Elizabeth McCullough Keenan. They wrote under E.G. Scott. This is their first book with like their full non-pen names on the cover. I had an arc of this and wanted to buy the book, so I actually picked this up at Thriller Fest. If you watch my Thriller Fest video, you've already heard this. I also messed up the signing for this and did not get to have Greg sign it. And the irony of it all, am I using irony right? Is he had a book signing on Friday. I saw Greg Wednesday night. I saw Greg, he was supposed to sign it on Friday. I saw him Thursday night at a party. Saw him went Friday multiple times during the day. Missed his thing. And then he was like, find me on Saturday and I'll sign it for you. And I carried this around all day Saturday and I never saw him. So I saw him in passing on Wednesday. In person, talked Thursday. Talked Friday. Never saw him Saturday. I'm still not over it. This is a con story. You're like, what's it even about? Brother and sister, their mother is found dead. Brother and sister think it's super mysterious and they are super suspect of their stepfather. I almost said father-in-law, their stepfather. So they are trying to prove that he had something to do with it. And they wind up on this wild cat and mouse chase. And it's con and it's fun and it's humorous and it's dark and it's multiple POVs. And I had a thoroughly amazing time with it. So I very much enjoy them as a writing duo. If you're not reading them, you should be. And then I have The Doorman by Chris Pavoni. I also got this at Thriller Fest. This was weird stroke of luck where there was a book swap table and I don't know what angel put this book on the book swap table. I need to pay attention to what's happening on my camera. Okay, cut me off. What I was saying, I don't know what angel put this on the book swap table, but somebody did. This is a brand new release and I definitely swapped a book to get this one and I'm very excited about it. So Chris was there. I saw him on a couple of panels. I have been a huge fan of his since he wrote The Expats many, many years ago, and I've talked about it on here before. This is modern day Bonfire of the Vanities is how he pitches this one, and S.A. Cosby says it's a tense, pulse-pounding thriller. So we have a doorman at the Bohemia, which is the most famous apartment house in the world, home of celebrities, financiers, and New York's cultural elite. So kind of like the Dakota is how I think about it. I feel like Lock Every Door, Riley Sager, that same kind of a vibe. So up in the penthouse, Emily Longworth seems to have a perfect evening, except her husband, whom she's quietly loathed even before the recent revelations about where the money comes from. His wealth is immense, their prenup is ironclad, and Emily can't bring herself to leave him. So we have, we're kind of focusing on multiple people who live in the building. And then it says, in the Bohemia's bowels of the building, working class staff is taking in the news that just a few miles uptown, a black man has been killed by the police, leading to a demonstration, a counter-demonstration, and a long night of violence across the Tinderblocks city. So as Chicky, who is our doorman, changes into his uniform for tonight's shift, he finds himself breaking a cardinal rule of the job. Tonight he'll be carrying a gun, bought only hours earlier before he had any idea what was about to happen at the Bohemia. Tonight in the city, enemies will clash, loyalties will be tested, secrets will be revealed, and lives will be lost. Chris Pavoni can write a really freaking good book. I've heard great things. Okay, so when you're in the mood to be terrified, again, haven't read it yet. Under the influence of Guaranteed Reads and Dennis from Scared Straight Reads, I bought Night Watching, which kind of reminds me of Night Watcher by Daphne Woolsencroft, who is the host of Going West, a true crime podcast. Reminds me of Tracy Sierra, Night Watching, which scared the bejesus out of me. And this one is supposed to be really freaking scary. So I'm going to choose my moment. So we have Nola Strait is being watched again. After an encounter with a notorious serial killer in the Pacific Northwest as a child, she's grown up and tried her best to forget her traumatizing night with the hiding man. She's installed security cameras outside her Oregon home, never spoke of her experience, and now hosts Night Watch, a popular radio call-in show her semi-famous father used to run. So coincidences lead Nora to believe she is being stalked, and then a caller on Night Watch has a live incident with an intruder in the caller's home, the description of whom is chillingly familiar, and Nola is convinced that the killer has resurfaced and is coming for her. So this is a picture that Nola drew when she was a kid. Ooh, it just seems so creepy. And then the quote in the front says, "I have a perfect cure for a sore throat. Cut it," by Alfred Hitchcock. This is supposed to be really, really freaking scary. Really freaking scary. So brace yourselves for that one. And then we have the new Lisa Jewell book, which is Don't Let Him In. I am a diehard Lisa Jewell fan. I can say her name. I'm a diehard Lisa Jewell fan. I have been obsessed with her from the beginning. You guys know. So this is kind of like a Dirty John vibe. We've got The Perfect Man is a Perfect Life. No, we've got He's the Perfect Man and It's a Perfect Lie. Get it right, girl. So Nick Radcliffe is a man of substance and good taste. He has a smile that could melt the coldest heart and a knack for putting others at ease. And he is just what Nina Swan needs in her life after her husband's unexpected death. But Nina's adult daughter is super sus of Nick, and it sounds like she is right to be. So she digs into his past, and what she finds is more than unsettling. Then we have Martha, who is a florist living in a neighboring town with her infant daughter and her devoted husband, Alistair. But lately, Alistair has been traveling more and more frequently for work, disappearing for days at a time. And when Martha questions him about his frequent absences, he always has a legitimate sounding explanation, but Martha can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. So all three women are on a collision course, as only Lisa Jewell can put them. And we'll find out. We'll find out what's going to happen. Okay. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Atmosphere. I have heard so much amazing buzz about this book, and sometimes too much hype makes me want to hold off on reading a book. And that's not why I'm holding off on reading this book. I'm holding off on reading this book because my brain is absolutely broken right now, but I'm very excited for this one. So apparently in an interview, she said she was like looking to write her Titanic, or like to evoke the feelings people felt when they saw Titanic. So I think this is like epic love story is what I'm getting out of this one. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So it's got some gorgeous end papers, which, not having seen the regular edition, I don't know if that's featured in the regular edition, but it has some star charts in the back, which is kind of cool. So anyway, I love the cover of this one, and I've heard amazing things. So we are set in the 80s in this one against the space shuttle program. So Joan Goodwin is our main character. She's been obsessed with the stars for as long as she can remember. She's content with her life as a professor of physics and astronomy and as an aunt to her precocious niece Frances. But then she comes across an advertisement seeking the first women scientists to join NASA's space shuttle program. So she winds up joining a group of people in Houston's Johnson Space Center, an exceptional group of fellow candidates. So it says they become unlikely friends and prepare for their first flights. Joan finds a love she never imagined. In this new light, Joan begins to question everything she thinks she knows about her place in the observable universe. And then in December of 1984, on a mission, it all changes in an instant. So, I'm very excited. She hasn't written a book in a few years because she's been too busy like writing movies and doing all sorts of other amazing stuff. So I'm really excited to have this. I feel like giddy excited about this one. We'll get there, you guys. We'll get there. Okay. Alison Bucola, The Ascent. This is another Thriller Fest purchase. She was there. I got to meet her. We met last year. Delightful, wonderful, kind, gracious. So excited for this. And we have a mutual friend, so I'd heard about this book. And then actually one of the authors I was with, Karin Norden, who I've talked about on here before I met Allison, but we were just like chitter-chattering about stuff and great books we've read recently. And she said The Ascent. Then she was like, oh my God, it's so good. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to buy it so Allison can sign it. So I'm very excited. So it's a cult book. Was basically all I needed to know. You know, every once in a while you need to know a whole lot of nothing about a book. So it says, what would you do if the past showed up on your doorstep? I love a past and present. I love a past that haunts a person. So for decades, the whereabouts of the 15 has been an unsolved mystery. All the members of this reclusive commune outside Philadelphia vanished 20 years ago, except for one, a 12-year-old girl found wandering alone on the side of the road. So in the years since that morning, Lee Burton has tried to put the pain of her past behind her. She's built a new identity, she has a husband, she has a 7-month-old daughter, but motherhood is proving a bigger challenge than she anticipated. She doesn't want to let Lucy out of her sight even for a moment. She can't return to work, she's not sleeping, and she started spiraling into paranoia. And then a stranger shows up on her doorstep. Find out. We'll find out. And then my last Thriller Fest book is Last Ferry Out by Andrea Bartz. She was on the panel I saw that I've talked about so many times with Katie Nguyen and Stacey Willingham and Wendy Walker and Olivia Worley. And it was hosted by Sonika from The Reading Beauty, and I loved it so much. I took so many notes. This was a great craft session, even though it was a Thriller Fest panel. So I have read The Lost Night. I am a big fan of Andy Bart's writing advice. I think she's just so transparent and gives great advice and just is like a delight to listen to. I've listened to her on podcasts and other things. And I'm excited for this book. Not the story, but like the structure reminds me of like kind of what I'm trying to do with like the multiple POVs. I mean, not that multiple POVs is like revolutionary. Anyway, the way she was talking about her book struck a chord with me, so that got me even more excited for it. So we have Abby sets foot on Isla Kalel, and she isn't sure what, if anything, she'll find. She only knows that she needs to see the place where her It's been a long day. It's been a long day. Okay, Abby sets foot on Isla Kalel. She isn't sure what, if anything, she'll find. She only knows that she needs to see the place where her fiancé, Esther, died, and tries to make sense of the tragic accident. So the island is nothing like Abby expected. Though it was once a bustling tourist hub, a hurricane has left it a shell of its former self, with only a handful of residents remaining. So there's a once daily ferry to the mainland, and there was a once daily ferry to the mainland, and it now only runs once a week. We also having like some Alice Feeney vibes here. Abby befriends an alluring group of expats on the island, but her sense of unease surges when one of them says he knows the truth about Esther's final days. Not reading anymore, because I saw something I don't want to see. I'm sure it's a delightful thriller. I'm very excited for it. Don't judge the mess of the books behind me. Let me put these few away. And then I have a few more to tell you about. So when I did the first book haul video, I told you guys that a book had just arrived that day, which is true. And I was so excited for this. So I joined the Crime by the Book via Murder by the Book subscription for the first 3 months and you know the books ahead of time. So it's not like you're going to be like, oh, dang, not something I wanted. You know what you're getting. And I got my first book, which is Clemence Michelon. This is Our Last Resort. The Quiet Tenant was by far one of my favorite books that I read last year. And I am so excited to see what dark, disturbing, messed up magic she does with this book. So I will put the link for Crime by the Box down below if you guys are interested in it. Not affiliated with me, nothing like that. Murder by the Book is an indie bookstore. Abby, who is the face behind Crime by the Book on Instagram. It is a curated collection of books that she picks. So she does tons of author interviews in store. She has great taste. I've gotten so many recommendations from her, and I was very excited for the book she picked for this next couple of months. So you get the book, which will be autographed by the author. You get a fabulous bookmark, and then you get a note inside from Abby, which kind of explains what the book is about, like why she picked it, and then she'll give you some book recommendations as well. So it's really a great opportunity to support an indie bookstore, to support authors that you love perhaps, and just the fun of getting an autographed book and a little package in the mail every month, which twist my arm. Cool book subscription. So this one is Innocence Doesn't Bail You Out, It Just Makes You Easier to Trap. So we have a brother-sister duo in this one, and they are in the secluded desert of Escalante, Utah, seeking a fresh start. Once so close, they were able to finish each other's sentences, but they've grown apart in recent years after a sudden unspeakable tragedy. So they are now at this luxury resort. They're ready to reconnect between dips in the pool and hikes on the spectacular desert trails. And it all feels like paradise until the dead body of a beautiful woman who is vacationing there with her powerful, much older husband is discovered. So local police arrive, and here's the hitch. Suspicion quickly falls on Gabriel, and Frida is forced to revisit memories from their upbringing when Gabriel's innocence in a past scandal was questioned. Did he do it again? Did he do it then? What's happening? We have to find out. We have to find out. Okay, and now I have 3 books that were gifted to me from publishers. The first one is We Met Like This by Casey West. This is from Saturday Books. and it is pitched as a smart, sexy, modern romance, a sparkling adult rom-com debut from Casey West. So it says Margot Hart is a hopeless romantic. That's why she wants to be a literary agent. Love. Not that I want to be a literary agent, but I love anything about writing. So she wants to help bring romance books into the world. It's also why she hates dating apps with all her romance-loving soul. She wants her own love story to be just as fun as the books she reads. A mixed-up coffee order, a mistaken identity. She's not going to tell the story that she swiped right on her future husband's shirtless pic for the rest of her life. The problem is, her most consistent relationship over the last several years is with Oliver, a guy she keeps rematching with on the apps. They've only been on one date and it was a disaster. Well, until the makeout session in the car before parting ways. But she keeps reminding herself a makeout session and some witty banter does not a relationship make. So we fast forward 3 years, Margot has gotten fired from her dream job, and on the same day she sees Oliver. Could a repeat of the hot date they had years ago be something to consider, or is their incompatibility enough to move on? Margot has more important things to focus on, like opening her own literary agency. But Oliver, the sweet man with the golden retriever energy, is more steady and helpful than any man she's ever dated. Just when Margot thinks this could happen, it's Oliver who pulls back, and his reasons are more than she bargained for. What? Can a swipe right turn into swept away? Curious to find out. I'm curious to find out. I love witty banter. I love a little sexy. We'll find out. This next one, which is the first one that made me scream, and I talked, I don't know, in some video recently where I was like, I need to read this book. I am so late on reading a book that so many people rave about, and I don't know what's wrong with me, and I'm finally going to read it. And now, you guys, I'm finally going to read it because I just got We Love You, Bunny by Mona Awad. I just hit myself in the face with this giant book, which is the sequel to Bunny, which I was like, I need to read Bunny. I have it on my iPad. I've had it for years. I don't know what is wrong with me. It is so square in my wheelhouse. And then this came and I am screaming. So this is from, who is this from? This is from Mary Sue Rucci Books. Simon & Schuster. I'm so excited about this. Like, this just like jolted me. So it's Frankenstein meets Heathers in this dazzling, hilarious, and deliciously dark follow-up to the viral sensation Bunny. So I don't want to read the back since I haven't read Bunny yet and I don't want to ruin anything. But this is coming out in September. And I mean, Bunny, best book of 2019 by Time, Vogue, Electric Literature, New York Public Library, Margaret Atwood's raving about it, Washington Post, Vanity Fair, New York Times Book Review, Publishers Weekly. I mean, Kirkus, you name it. So I'm finally going to read Bunny and then I'm going to read this and I'm very excited about it. So it's happening. It's all happening. I'm not going to have a Sheena Shea moment, but which I know it's her almost famous, but if you know, you know. Okay. And then, you guys, when I say, and this is my finale book, I had high hopes but low expectations that I was going to get this book. And I screamed when I ripped open the package because I could see the top of it. And I knew immediately what it was. It is the special edition of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This just came like a couple hours ago. This is from Berkeley. I am stunned and grateful and beside myself and cannot even believe it. This book is so beautiful. So I bought the special edition of Beach Read last year, I think it came out, and it's gorgeous. I'm a massive Emily Henry fan. This is the only one of her books I haven't read because I am doing that weird thing where I don't want to be without an Emily Henry book. So I've intentionally held it like a weirdo. I don't know what I'm doing. And the universe, thank you, just sent me a sign that everything's going to be okay. And I think this is the book that's going to break me out of my slump because I didn't know and I can't get out of it. And I think, I have hair in my mouth. I think this is going to be the one. This book is so beautiful. The palm trees, the painted edges. It says, on vacation, you can be anyone you want, is what it says on the back. It's got your home to me on the front. I don't know if you can see that. I know it's a little bit pale. And I am very excited. So this is being made into a movie as we speak. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I need to complete my Emily Henry's. So 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, one last chance to fall in love. I'm sure everybody on here is like, we know what this is about. You're the one who doesn't know. So I know it's about 2 best friends. So Poppy and Alex, Alex and Poppy, they have nothing in common. She's a wild child, he wears khakis. She has insatiable wanderlust, he prefers to stay home with a book. And somehow, ever since a fateful car share home from college many years ago, they're the best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York City, he's in their small hometown. But every summer for a decade, they've taken one glorious week of vacation together. Until 2 years ago, when they ruined everything. They haven't spoken since. Poppy has everything she should want, but she's stuck in a rut. When someone asks when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex. And so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more vacation together, lay everything on the table, and make it all right. Miraculously, he agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything, if only she can get around to one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. What could possibly go wrong? So it's told over those 10 trips this summer, and I absolutely cannot wait for this book. I am so excited and so grateful to Berkeley. This is like an incredible gift, an incredible gift. So I'm ending this. I mean, the entire video is a high, let's be honest, but I am just, I'm so happy. I'm so thrilled. This is like the coolest thing ever. And I'm so incredibly grateful. I'm so incredibly grateful. So all of you guys, I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the video, watching the haul, all the fun stuff. And yeah, just let me know what's going on. I'm very curious. Hopefully by the time you guys see this, I will be out of this reading slump. But like, I know, like, what do you do? I've reread some books, which has definitely been good, but like, I want to read something new. So anyway, I mean, whatever, girl, pick a book, right? You just pick a book and try. So I'm going to read something. I'm going to get back at it, and I'm going to see you guys in another video. So some book reviews are coming up, and yeah, I will see you when I see you. So thank you for being here. I hope everybody is doing great. I hope nobody is in a reading slump. I hope everybody is having a fantastic reading time. And until the next video, which I will see you guys in, take care, have fun. Thanks everybody. Bye.